Hi, I'm Carol Jurgensen Sheets, and I have a radio show called Sex Help with Carol the Coach. And that radio show is dedicated to sex addicts and their loved ones. And I wanted to talk with you today about the fact that it's been my experience, if you work on yourself and you follow recovery tools, and you get honest, you get rigorously honest, I promise you, you will be better than 95% of those other men and women out there. Sounds like an oxymoron, doesn't it? I mean, you've spent years and years and years lying, cheating, deceiving, being a Jekyll and Hyde. You have lied so much to yourself. That's Boo right there. Okay, come on, Boo. Come on. You want to be in the picture? Okay, never mind. Sorry, guys. Boo's my fur baby. Anyway, you have spent so much time lying to yourself. You don't even know who you are, let alone who you can be for a partner. Now, the good news is, and I promise you this, the good news is when you work those tools, when you create a fellowship with other addicts, you learn how to develop intimacy. And you've heard me say before, sex addiction is about sexual intimacy anorexia. It's about intimacy anorexia. You know, when you don't know who you are, you can't be intimate with somebody else. So I'm here to tell you that I believe that you can make the changes that you need to make. But you have to get honest. You have to get honest with yourself, first and foremost. And then you have to get honest with the people that you love. Now, it's always hard to know, how honest do I need to be? And that is a delicate balance in that, you know, the program, the 12-step program says if it's going to hurt somebody, probably shouldn't tell them. As a CSAT, a certified sexual addictions therapist, and as a clinical partner specialist, I say it depends on what you've agreed to do with your partner. So if you're lucky enough to have a partner and you've said, I will be honest about everything, that is first and foremost what you need to do. Some partners don't want to know. They don't want to know the details. They don't even want to know anything other than, are you acting out now? And that's why you customize how you behave and who you are based on what you believe is right and what your family needs from you. Does that make sense? So that means having an honest conversation with your partner and asking him or her, probably a her, you know, how much do you want to know? What do you need to know? And then sharing that information with them. Now here's where it gets dicey. We CSATs and APSATs members know that a therapeutic disclosure is probably the best way to do that, which means that you have to find one of us and go through a process whereby you absolutely excavate everything and write it down based on the questions that your spouse wants to know. And that process should be in a supportive environment with specialists who know how to do this, and hopefully your partner and yourself have good counselors that can work with you, because this is an incredibly painful process for both of you. Coming clean is very, very difficult. You need support. And when she hears this information, she is so traumatized. There's no way you can hear this information and not feel trauma. But what the advantage of a therapeutic disclosure is that she won't have to hear any more details a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, 10 years from now. It's a way for you to get it all out and get it over with so that you can deal with the realities of the pain and the shame that is in your bond together. Now, I want you to know that you can get through this. I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to get some good help. There is so much good information on the internet with specialists. If you go to sexhelp.com, you'll find information, who are the specialists that can work with addicts. If you go to APSATS, which is APSATS, you'll also find people who have been trained and certified to work with you as a partner. Not everybody is traumatized, but most people are. And then if I've got a partner watching right now, I got to tell you, when the addict has been caught or they've decided to come clean, they have to work on their own recovery, and they have to work on what is it going to take to rebuild that relationship with you. How can they make it up to you? How can they prove they're trustworthy? And that takes a lot of energy and effort, and I guarantee you they can't do it on their own. They need people who have done this work. Unfortunately, a lot of counselors don't know how to do it. They don't even know there are 12-step groups out there, or Recovery Nation, which is an online sex addiction program or model. Now, if you live in an area where you cannot go to somebody because there just aren't any CSATs or APSATs, then you've got to depend on online recovery material and groups. But if you can go face to face, I recommend that you give that a shot. We always say go 6 times before you make a decision. And that's what the guys I work with fight so much about. They want to do it on their own, and I have to tell them, you can't do it on your own. And then they get into the meetings, and the meetings make them feel so much better because A, they figure out there are people like them. B, there are a whole host of people, some people with 20, 30 years recovery. Most people under 10. But the bottom line is they've been where you're at, and they know what to do to get healthy. There are people that can mentor you and be your sponsor. People that take you through the 12 steps, which works on personal transformation. So don't do it on your own, because you can't. And that's what makes you the best person possible. I get tearful when I look at couples that have gone through this and are stronger than ever, and are mentoring other people and have that compassion of knowing what it was like and what it can look like in the future. And so I wanted to give you some hope, strength, and recovery today. I also wanted to ask you to listen to my show, Sex Help with Carol the Coach. It's an internet show. You can download the podcast and listen to it any time of the day or night. I interview all the experts. I feel very fortunate and blessed to be able to do that. And what I know to be true is that we're all in this together, and our entire society is sexualized. I was just talking with a couple of women who were aghast that their single friends were showing them pictures that they had sent out and received. And they said, Carol, what is this world coming to? And I said 2 things. I said, this is an abreaction to how sexualized we've become. The second thing is, when the pendulum's over here, it'll swing back the other direction. So be part of that movement, be part of that change. And then, as the 12 steps states, help somebody else. Because that's the beauty of this program. When you work it, it works, and then you get to pay it forward. I'll see you later for another YouTube Sex Addiction with Carol the Coach. and feel free to contact me at carolthecoach.com if you have any questions or need any reference materials. We are all in this together.